dear brothers and sisters. Imagine for a moment a child no older than 5, clutching a torn doll amidst the rubble of what was once her home. Her tiny hands tremble, her eyes hollow with fear, searching for a mother who may never return. Imagine a pregnant woman, her body frail from hunger, screaming in agony as bombs fall around her, with no hospital left to deliver her baby. This is not a scene from a dystopian film. This is Gaza, April 7, 2025. A living nightmare, where Palestinian children and women endure unimaginable cruelty at the hands of Israel's relentless military campaign. Today I ask you to bear witness to their pain, to feel the weight of their tears, and to confront a truth too often ignored: the systematic destruction of the innocent. The story of Gaza's suffering didn't begin yesterday. It's a wound reopened time and again since October 7, 2023, when Hamas attacked Israel, killing 1,200 and taking 251 hostages. Israel's response was swift and merciless, an all-out war that has now claimed over 50,000 Palestinian lives, according to Gaza's health ministry. But numbers alone don't tell the story. More than half of those killed are women and children, mothers, daughters, sisters, and sons. Entire families wiped out in seconds by airstrikes that level homes, schools, and hospitals. For a fleeting moment, hope flickered with a ceasefire on January 19, 2025, when hostages were swapped and aid trickled in. But that hope was crushed in March, when Israel resumed its assault, alleging unmet demands. Since then, the cruelty has escalated to a level that defies comprehension, targeting the most defenseless among us. The children, Sep's plight. Let's take a look on the children. Gaza's heartbeat, its future. Now reduced to statistics of slaughter, over 1,000 children have been killed or injured in just the past week, their small bodies torn apart by bombs or left to bleed out under rubble. Picture this: a 7-year-old boy, his legs shattered by shrapnel, crying for his mother as medics scramble in a hospital with no electricity, no medicine, no hope. UNICEF reported that on March 18 alone, 180 children died, one of the deadliest days for Gaza's youth in over a year. 180 futures snuffed out in 24 hours. Can you feel the weight of that? These are not faceless casualties. They are children who once laughed, who dreamed of growing up, now buried under the debris of their own homes. Take the story of Amina, a 9-year-old, from Rafah. On April 3, an Israeli airstrike hit her family's apartment as they slept. Amina survived, but her parents and 3 siblings did not. She was pulled from the wreckage, her left arm gone, her face streaked with blood and tears. Now an orphan, she sits in a tent, whispering their names to herself, unable to understand why she's alone. Israel's military has turned playgrounds into killing fields. In Jabalia, shelling claimed 4 lives, including a child whose body arrived at Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital, wrapped in a blood-soaked sheet. In Gaza City, 6 people, 3 of them children, were killed outside a bakery, killed while waiting for a scrap of bread in a land where food has been blocked for over a month. Starvation is a weapon here, wielded with cold precision. The World Food Programme warns of severe malnutrition, with children under 5 wasting away, their tiny frames too weak to fight. Imagine a mother watching her baby's eyes dim, knowing she has nothing to give, not a drop of milk, not a crumb, because Israel has cut off all aid. This is not war. This is annihilation. The suffering of women. Now turn your eyes to the women, the mothers, the sisters, the backbone of Gaza's resilience. They are not spared. Over 9,500 women have been killed since this war began, and thousands more injured, their bodies bearing the scars of a conflict they didn't choose. On April 6, an Israeli strike in Khan Yunis killed journalist Islam Mekdad, her son, and 5 family members, 5 women and children among them. Their home became their tomb, a twisted pile of concrete and grief. At their funeral, mourners wept over 15 bodies, including 5 women and 5 children, killed in 2 strikes that night. This is not an isolated tragedy, it's a pattern. Consider Hind Hudari, a 29-year-old Palestinian journalist who has risked her life to show the world Gaza's pain. On Instagram and X, where she has 1.2 million followers, Hind has shared raw footage of the devastation, children's bodies pulled from rubble, mothers wailing over lost sons. In one post from late March 2025, she filmed herself walking through the ruins of northern Gaza after Israel's renewed offensive, her voice breaking as she described a mother searching for her child's remains amidst the debris. "I am exhausted and drained," she wrote recently, admitting the trauma of witnessing such horrors daily. Hind has seen hospitals bombed, families starved, and her own city reduced to ash, all while Israel blocks aid and targets civilians. Pregnant women, she reports, face a special kind of hell. 50,000 are at risk, giving birth in tents or on blood-stained floors, with no pain relief, no clean water, no safety. The UN reports 183 women deliver daily in these conditions, their screams drowned out by the roar of jets overhead. Miscarriages have surged by 300%, a silent epidemic of loss caused by stress, starvation, and the destruction of every maternity ward in Gaza. Imagine carrying life inside you, only to watch it slip away because bombs have shattered the only hospital left. Israel's blockade has ensured no medical supplies reach these mothers, no fuel to power incubators for their newborns. Hundreds of babies have died, their first breaths stolen by a war that knows no mercy. The humanitarian collapse. This cruelty isn't just in the bombs, it's in the silence that follows. For over a month, Israel has blocked all humanitarian aid, no food, no fuel, no medicine. The UN calls it a desperate situation, with stocks dwindling and prices soaring beyond reach. Families flee with nothing, 124,000 displaced in days, carrying their lives in tattered bags, only to find nowhere safe. 2/3 of Gaza is a no-go zone, restricted by Israeli orders, leaving 90% of its 2.2 million people uprooted, many multiple times. Homes are gone, 60% of buildings destroyed, 90% of housing units reduced to dust. Hospitals, once sanctuaries, are now targets. At Al-Shifa Hospital, once Gaza's largest, doctors recount pulling a 3-year-old girl from the wreckage of an airstrike, her chest crushed, her mother begging for a miracle that never came. The healthcare system is a ghost of itself, overwhelmed by the wounded, the starving, the hopeless. Clean water is a memory, sanitation a dream. Disease stalks these broken streets, preying on the weak. Women wash blood from their children's clothes in muddy puddles. Children drink from contaminated streams, their bellies swelling with hunger and sickness. This is not collateral damage. This is a calculated erasure of a people, with women and children as its primary victims. International silence and reaction. And where is the world in all this? The United Nations has condemned the violence, its officials weeping as they describe hell on earth. The International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants in November 2024 for Israeli leaders, accusing them of war crimes. Yet the bombs keep falling. The United States, under President Trump, has proposed resettling Gazans elsewhere, a plan critics call ethnic cleansing in disguise, while vetoing ceasefire resolutions at the UN. Protests erupt globally, from London to Jakarta, with millions demanding an end to this horror, but the machinery of war grinds on. Human rights groups plead for accountability, documenting each child's death, each mother's loss, yet Israel presses forward, claiming security, while sowing devastation. The silence of the powerful is deafening, a betrayal of every woman and child crying out in Gaza. As I speak, a child in Gaza takes her last breath. A mother mourns a future that will never come. Israel's actions, bombing homes, starving families, crushing hope, are not defense, they are atrocities, carried out with impunity while the world watches. We cannot turn away. We must demand a permanent ceasefire, the release of all hostages, and the floodgates of aid opened wide. We must protect these innocents, amplify their voices, like Hinds, who risks everything to tell their truth, and hold those responsible accountable, whether in Tel Aviv, Washington, or the halls of the UN. For every child lost, like Amina, for every woman broken, like those Hind documents, we owe them our outrage, our tears, and our action. Stand with them, speak for them, fight for them. Their lives, their stories, their pain must not be erased. Let their suffering ignite a fire in us all, a fire for justice, for humanity, for an end to this cruelty. And now, let us raise our hands and hearts in dua for the people of Palestine. Allahumma, O Allah, Lord of the oppressed, the mighty, the compassionate, grant relief to our brothers and sisters in Palestine, protect the children from harm, wrap the mothers in your mercy, and heal the wounds of the innocent. O Allah, lift this oppression, end this tyranny, and bring peace to their land. Provide them food where there is hunger, shelter where there is ruin, and strength where there is despair. Make their hearts steadfast, forgive their shortcomings, and accept their martyrs in your highest paradise. O Allah, you are the all-hearing, the all-seeing. Do not abandon them in their hour of need.